maybe. 1 second, everybody. We had technical issues.
Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. Really sorry. We're back now, though. What about the whole trend of modern indie games that emulate the difficulty and feel of older games? Do you play any of that? Well, I have played a very, very little bit of Shovel Knight, which is really at the forefront of that trend.
Yeah.
Like, I like it. It felt nice. Again, it's interesting because it achieves a lot of interesting stuff that you wouldn't have actually been able to do on an NES, which is fine. You know, I don't really have a problem with that because I understand that you got to grow up the game somehow, I guess. But I was impressed with what I saw for the most part.
I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something and then I lost.
Sorry about the disconnect, by the way. That was just.
I lost my train of thought.
Extremely
now I'm sad.
I think I just jumped away.
I'm so sad.
So I'm interested in those. I've also played Rogue Legacy, sort of has that going on, more or less. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And I really like Rogue Legacy.
Rogue Legacy.
That really is
a good game. Yeah.
So I really enjoy Rogue Legacy.
I'd say check out Rogue Legacy.
Spelunky kind of has that too now that I think about it. Some of these retro style games. Yeah, so for the most part, I really do like them. I like Mega Man 9.
Yeah.
Mega Man 9 is kind of an interesting case. Mega Man 10, I haven't played, but I don't think I'd like it as much from the sounds of it. So, I mean, it's partially aesthetic then, I guess,
Remember
right?
when our friend gave us that?
Mega Man 10?
No, candy. The candy that you just ate in Kirby.
Oh, yeah. Sure. I was trying to think of things to say, though.
Well,
So I think that it must be partially aesthetic, but I think there's something actually fundamental within game design that is like a retro game. Like retro games are almost a genre for a reason. It's because there is something within them that is different than some modern games, right?
Yeah.
I think like a big problem with modern games is that there's too much hand holding for one thing.
Oh yeah.
And
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword, yeah. And
I'm looking at you.
There's and Link Between Worlds, which I liked a lot more, but still had a lot of it.
I haven't played any of Skyward Sword, Michael.
Well, I played Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had me. I remember playing the desert portion and trying out the running stuff. So I played
I don't remember you doing this. Well, you watched me play it.
Tom's trying to discredit me live. That's really unfortunate.
Oh, I know he at least watched me play it, so to that.
I'm just really upset right now, actually.
Oh.
But anyway, I'll just use Link Between Worlds since Tom trusts me on that one.
Yeah, I trust him on that one.
How do I get up there?
I mean,
I wouldn't need the hammer.
Your credibility. Oh, we already won.
Well, Shovel Knight's interesting. I haven't bought it yet, but I enjoyed what I played so far.
Oh yeah, now I remember. Why don't you like Link Between Parallel Worlds then?
What do you mean?
It's got that kind of difficulty.
No, it doesn't have that kind of difficulty. Parallel Worlds is a game that was designed by... Okay, there's a difference between ROM hacks... Oh, wow, we're really going down the rabbit hole on this one. Kirby's dead. This is such an interesting question and idea you brought up here, Mac Derby, that it's actually kind of insane. And I feel like I need to justify myself a little bit now, because that's interesting. I do find myself enjoying those games. So it would almost from the outside looking in, it seemed like I'm just sort of basing this completely on nostalgia, right? But for the most part, I actually grew up with an N64, so the beginning of polygonal gaming, which that was like a big part. Like I played Super Nintendo first,
Yeah.
but the N64 was a big part of my childhood.
Pokemon Stadium.
Pokemon Stadium, a game that's actually kind of awful.
It is awful.
But a lot of work done that one,
But
and he was able to do some cool stuff with it.
I played Pokemon Stadium and beat you guys for so long. It was beautiful.
I played Pokemon Stadium and beat you guys for so long.
Oh, that sounds bad, doesn't
That sounds awful.
I should choose my words a bit more carefully.
Yeah. Don't worry, Tom. If you're going to discredit me, I'll try and make you feel bad at any given time.
Okay. Sounds fair to me. Whatever.
Anyway. I'll try and... We'll keep on playing
I
this.
was better than everybody else at Pokemon Stadium.
Tom was really good at Pokemon Stadium.
Only because I played the Pokemon games.
Yeah.
And Michael didn't at the time.
Not. At the time, I did not. 1 bit did I play that. That trash.
But I never was able to beat the campaign.
Pokemon was an interesting thing for me growing up more than anything.
Recently, I've only been able to beat the campaign. You know.
The campaign's stupid. Like, I've played... Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't say anything, because this is Tom's expertise. And anytime Tom has expertise on something, apparently I don't know anything about it. So maybe I shouldn't talk about it.
You can.
Can I talk about it?
Yes.
Thank you.
I trust you.
Pokemon Stadium's campaign is pretty much broken. I don't know what lends it more. It has something to do with just the basic concept of Pokemon Stadium, which is picking a team which is pre-balanced and you have no control over.
Well,
and has moves that you may or may not like.
Yeah.
And taking it up against a team that actually feels like a balanced real Pokemon.
Yeah. And I mean, sure, you can argue that, yeah, you can transfer your guys from GBA to this, but really, do you want to take all that work to do that?
And they're always weaker, right? Well, most of the time they're weaker than they are in the game. You don't get to maintain levels, as it is, right?
Yeah.
They either rank down to the highest level of the other person's, usually 50, right?
Yeah.
Or
the other person's level gains the highest your Pokemon has.
Yeah, which is
and since
worse,
you
probably.
More than likely don't have, if you're playing casually, you don't have all level 100s or whatever.
It becomes pretty much ridiculous.
So basically, you try and get the best Pokemons you can. Sometimes legendaries, but I know Jolteon's really good. I think Jolteon is really good for Pokemon Stadium just because he's got really good speed and special attack, I believe.
Now, though we say this about Pokemon Stadium, to be perfectly honest, I've played the most difficult Pokemon Stadium game, by all accounts.
Yeah.
The Japanese-only Pokemon Stadium.
You can catch his review on it on his channel, I believe, right?
I don't have a review up of that game.
Oh, shame on you.
Yeah, shame on me, actually. That was one that I was planning on doing for... The footage is recorded.
I swear you had the footage and
I did
editing it. Editing it.
Never got around to writing the script.
How dare you.
Maybe that'll come out here soon sometime. The footage should still be around somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway. Jeez. These guys are giving me quite a bit of difficulty. Oh, man. Man, oh, man.
Well, if you keep losing, I can try.
Crap. Do you want to try, Tom?
Yeah, I'll try.
I'm sure I can do it, but I'll let him play.
Let me just get assorted to the buttons again. Okay.
What did you say?
Let me get, assorted to the buttons.
Let me get assorted to the buttons.
Just...
Well, I'm sorry, Tom. You sort of made me feel really bad about the whole Skyward Sword thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm a little bit salty about it, as they say. Well, we have a very interesting looking comment from Mac Derby. Let's take a look. That's a very good point. And the video games as art question is something that in itself that is I mean, I guess that's the first thing you gotta the first premise you've got to accept of that theory, of course, is that video games are art, and I would say they are, for sure. And if that's the case, then I think your theory stands. But I don't know why. I just there's maybe it's a culture thing, but there's always this need by many people. They want you to sort of explain why you feel a certain way, like the rose-colored glasses thing, right?
Yeah.
Like I could say, I like the Star Wars original trilogy better than the prequels, and someone will always say, "You take off the rose-colored glasses," right?
Yeah.
You know, that's just a nostalgia thing because I grew up with that. So in some way, I think it should be the reasons why you like things. Usually should be somewhat demonstrable to an extent. But you're onto something still. I think that's also true. I think you shouldn't have to. I think maybe you shouldn't have to justify why you like things, but maybe it is. It's worth coming up with reasons, or at least maybe knowing why. Because you can say it all comes down to taste, but what is taste? I guess what makes up taste? Is it just something that's completely? What would you say? Like maybe ethereal? Is the word I'm looking for, or is there something a bit more to it? I'd like to think there's a bit more to it. So I'm not sure if that makes sense, but that's sort of what I'm trying to say anyway.
There's two.
Ooh,
Well
done.
There
that's a
you
cool
go.
boss. One of the bosses that doesn't go reused constantly.
Yeah.
So you make a great point, and I really appreciate that comment. That's gonna be a lot of thinking about that.
Oh no.
A lot of thinking about both of the comments, really, because you make a good point.
Let's go till 9.
Or okay. Yeah, sure. I think we'll just probably end up going until we stop. Actually, we'll know when the time is right, Tom.
There's no better team.
I was hoping you'd say that. Has it always been your dream, Tom?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I almost beat that Pokemon Stadium Japanese version. I can't believe I recorded all that footage and I never used it. It's ridiculous.
I thought you did beat it. I thought you and Lisa beat
Well,
it.
I beat it, but the footage for it is lost because I only was able to record up to like an hour or whatever, and I literally beat it at like an hour 15. So unfortunately, my victory goes unseen forever now. But
That's sad.
those who were there remember it happening. That was actually a really fun experience overall.
Yeah.
And that game's supposed to be really difficult, but I found it to be manageable. And it really came down to a thing of superb team planning and like,
Yeah.
tactical thinking. I watched the Pokemon World Championship, or was it Nationals? I can't remember.
It
You were
was Nationals.
Mm.
If it was the one that we just watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched Nationals for the video games, at least a little bit. And there was this whole thing about they looked at each other's teams. It was like a 4 Pokemon team or 3?
It's 4 Pokemon, but they have like 6 Pokemon to choose
Right.
from.
I knew that much. And the thing that's important about that is because you don't know exactly what the other person's going to use. You just sort of have to make your team sort of guessing what they have and what you brought,
Yeah.
It's essentially just like Pokemon Stadium for N64, the original version,
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I could see if Pokemon didn't change so much since then,
Yeah.
it probably wouldn't be a half bad tool to try and. I still think it would be a good tool to sort of use to guess.
Ooh, one up.
There's not one good reason to like art, but many bad reasons to dislike it. Fascinating. I'm not familiar with this guy, but I really like that. Huh.
Well, there was a secret we missed in the last level, but we're not going back.
We're just sort of hitting things as we go. Man, this game is so good.
You can tell if you've missed something by the orange door.
Yeah, just like in Mario World, actually, the levels are orange when there's something. Well, I think they're all orange to begin with, but they stay orange when there's something secret in them.
Yeah.
Mario World, they're orange from the start if you need to find something in there, and then they change. Yeah. But I really love that quote. That's really good, and I don't know if that's exactly a verbatim quote or whatever, but the idea is just, it's really, really smart. That's another thing I'm going to have to think on. You're just giving me all sorts of stuff to ponder over. I made an our video games art video on my...
I was in it.
Tom was in it, yeah. That was one of the few videos on my main channel that Tom's in.
Yeah.
And
I'm just not important enough to be in his other videos, I guess.
Well, how else?
I guess you won't be in my videos.
Well, how do you want...
I make them.
How would you want me to have you in the videos?
You don't have to have me in the videos. I don't want to be in the
That's
videos.
classic Tom. Complain about something only to say I never wanted it anyway. Hey Tom, did you know this was actually the enemies that inspired the Squid Jump game in Splatoon?
I didn't.
Fake video game facts. That's a new thing I'm starting. And it's going to be stuff like that. That sounds almost real enough to be true, right? That almost sounds like it could be true.
No.
It's just obscure enough.
I didn't believe it for a second.
Yes, you did. I had you hook, line, and sinker.
I should have known. No, not to believe you. I mean, lately I've been accusing Michael of wrongdoing.
Yeah. Tom keeps on thinking I'm a liar, and then I'll prove him. Prove that I'm right, and then he'll get all mad. So.
And then he does it.
And then I use that trust and I abuse it. For little moments like this. That might be the sign of a manipulative personality. I don't know if I like what I'm learning about myself right now.
Just eat that guy and then crash into the other guy.
It's a crashing boom bang attack. What is that from, Tom?
Earthbound.
Yep.
I was about to say, I hope that guy doesn't have Franklin badge on.
Anyway, I made this video games as our video. Tom was in it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about that video anymore. Like, I think it was well produced, and it was something I put a lot of time and effort into. But it makes me wonder, like, just the way that, just this like little bit of conversation I've had with Mac Derby right now, makes me curious if I was looking at things the right way at all. And maybe I don't need to define art by all sorts of comparisons to other art.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what I did, if I recall. Is I made like I made comparisons to Stravinsky in The Rite of Spring, and I was trying to draw like comparisons to Pong, which was a task which I like at the very beginning. I'm like, I knew that I wanted to talk about Rite of Spring, and I knew how I wanted to relate it to Pong. And as I was writing the script, I'm like, this is going to be kind of tough to really sell. And I don't know if I ever exactly did it, but still. The more I think about that video now, though, I don't know if there really was the need for it, maybe. Like, I'm glad it exists, perhaps, and I think that I said some interesting stuff, maybe.
I thought I said some interesting things.
Yeah.
I mean, just remember I can't say it. I won't say it.
What?
Memorable.
Yeah, that's right. In that video, it's pretty clear to hear, but some people don't recognize it. Tom was having trouble and was sort of stepping over his words in the interview. So basically, we took the finished audio clip and we looked at it, and with Tom's help, sort of dictating what he wanted to have seen, I reconstructed something that actually could be used.
Yeah.
Because the original one wasn't good.
It was only like one word, though.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny and
I had marbles in my mouth that day.
Yeah. But I just don't know if it was totally necessary, because like I almost feel like it should speak for itself. Games.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's a creative thing, and a lot of people. I think it's what people have a problem with is that video games are somehow cheap entertainment, but I'm not entirely sure I even believe in the idea of cheap entertainment. I believe in things that aren't entertaining, at least to me. But if something's entertaining, how can it really be considered cheap entertainment? You know? If it appeals to somebody, then it's done its job, at least in some respect, right?
Yeah.
And if I say, this is entertaining, then, like, isn't that what a movie sets out to do, too? Like, I don't know. There's just so many different, like, reasons people can give for, like, what qualifies as art, right?
Yeah.
Like Ebert, Roger Ebert, film critic, who I mentioned in that video. Of course, up until the day he died, was on the whole video games as art thing. He didn't think they were, which is interesting. I don't have a problem with the guy like some people do, because I think that he was a great film critic. But like I just, it's hard for me to see like what the main difference is between film and games. Like obviously you have, I guess actors are one thing you don't have, right? In games for the most part. Like, well, you have voice actors even. You have characters. Silent films didn't have words. For the most part, games like this don't, right?
Yeah.
So let's compare this to a silent film, I guess. What's really the difference between this and, say, that... It's a French film, very famous, To the Moon?
I think so. I know what one you're talking about.
That might not technically be a silent film. I think it was a silent film and they dubbed over it later.
It was recolored as well.
Yeah. And then a lot of stuff happened to that film because it's kind of essential filmmaking. Or film watching, I guess.
What was that? I mean, all this talk about art reminds me of one of my old art teachers back in 8th grade.
Mr. Nesty?
Yeah.
What about him?
Oh, I just remember him saying, like, anything can be, like, considered art.
But wasn't
as long as, like, one person considers it.
Wasn't he doing that, though, to show that things aren't art, but people get away with it? Like, that's what I always interpreted that lecture as, is, like, oh, look at this person who created this, paper that says this is art on it, right? Like, that was something.
Yeah.
Oh, why'd I do that twice?
You fool.
And I thought, like, his point was, like, he was trying to make some point about what real art was. I don't know.
I don't know. He was, like,
He was a pretty cool guy, all things considered.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was trying to make it out like even the most obscure things can be considered art, though.
And who knows? With him, the meaning of a lecture could have changed between years.
Yes.
So, who knows? But that seems like something he would say, though, too. Interesting. The question... Oh, man.
You're just not doing well today.
Really, I mean, we were already up to World 4, Tom. That's not too bad.
You're just not doing well today.
Oh, okay. I think it's interesting regardless, and something that's gonna keep me wondering. Like, what do you think, Tom? Are video games art? Like, you obviously in the video said that.
Yeah.
But, like, if you were gonna just, without any influence from me whatsoever, if you're just coming in this, and I'm not making a video, and I want your interview for it, just give me your...
Yeah, I'd say that they are.
Okay. I don't know if I remember this one. Don't know if I remember this power-up.
I believe I remember it because I'm just that good.
Oh, I like it. Oh, man. How can you not love this game when it does stuff like this? It's just so cool. Celebrating Japan's national pastime, baseball. At least to some extent. Man, that's so satisfying. Like, do you have any reasons that you would cite for that?
That video games are art?
Yeah.
I don't know, I just feel like people putting the time into something kind of makes it artful.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like maybe it's the prevalence of bad games. Maybe it's the prevalence of, I don't even know.
Why do you want to get rid of throw?
I just wanted to check this area out. I'm sorry. Can I even win this with throw?
Probably not.
Can I exit it?
Maybe not. Oh, you just got rid of it.
Oh, shucks.
Stop being bad. Maybe he'll give you throw.
Tom really hates it when I try and enjoy myself.
I hate it when you lose like a loser.
I'm gonna die. Wow.
Push select, maybe.
Hit the down arrow when Kirby has an enemy in his mouth to copy the enemy's special ability. Tom, do you know what this game is called in Japanese?
Do you know?
Yep.
What's it called?
Hoshi no Kirby. Which translates to what, Tom? Kirby of the Stars. And once again, I'd just like to say, this is a stream for, in honor of...
See, our
Why
friend...
does he give us this stuff?
Our friend wants to be friendly again.
For Satoru Iwata, former president of Nintendo, former president of HAL Laboratory, involved in great games, the guy who saved Earthbound, the guy who programmed Balloon Fight, the guy who made, or at least worked on Rollerball in some extent. That's a game we just learned about today. And Air Fortress, another game we just learned about today, both which are pretty quality.
Yeah.
Which one did you like more, Tom? I don't know if you played much of Air Fortress, but...
I didn't play Air Fortress.
Yeah, so, but like, just judging by both of them...
I probably liked Air Fortress more.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really good attempt on Rollerball.
Because you rode on a nose.
That was, yeah. Air Fortress is a game that I'm going to actually have to hunt down now.
Hey, it's our friend
so
again.
you give us the power and then you try and have us killed?
He's just testing our strengths.
This part is actually more difficult, I think, if you have an item already. What do you think, Tom?
I don't know.
Because otherwise you can just eat them.
Yeah. Depends.
Like, well, I don't know.
I don't know.
Seems pretty cut and dry to me.
You're asking me questions.
I'm sorry.
How dare you?
First conversation is about art, and then this Tom's just not... I think Tom's in his element right now.
Yeah, I'm usually good if we're playing parallel worlds, where I can make my maps, or Pokemon, because, I've kind of played those games since I was a child.
Yeah. We will be playing Pokemon on the stream, don't worry. Or Pokemon, or however it's pronounced.
Poke-A-mon.
Pokemon? Jeez. Yeah, growing up, Tom was really the Pokemon guy. I collected the cards as a kid.
Yeah.
That's something that we both had an interest in.
Yeah, and now I'm still collecting the cards, and I'm addicted to it.
And I kind of collect the cards to an extent. Like, every once in a while I'll pick up a pack just to see what's up. I'm really not into it nearly as much as Tom.
But we'll be streaming Swampert shenanigans.
Tom's got Tom, you see, the reason why Tom's into it still is mostly because he's a really good player at the online game.
I'm okay
And
at it.
I don't know. I talk him up a bit, actually. I when people are talking about... I remember we had a conversation at lunch and some of my colleagues, and they were talking like, does anyone play the Pokemon trading card game? And I brought up how you are actually really good at it, and they were impressed. So you got one respect.
Wow.
But, anyway. Yeah, so... And I'm kind of interested in the online game, too, but I'm not as good at it. I really just mooch off of Tom's decks. And I'm also... Tom says I didn't come up with it first, but I'm pretty much positive that I'm the one that came up with the whole Swampert Shenanigans deck idea.
Okay.
Which you will be seeing later.
I'll let him have it. I'll allow him to have it.
I'll allow it.
Because, I make so many good quality decks here. Yes. I'm so perfect.
Yeah, look... Okay, stop. But just... That'll be something we stream in the future.
Yeah.
Probably not very far future either. Because it's something we've been talking about forever. Let's get some mic. The official power-up of the mic and game stream. I think it might be this room, and then use it instantly because it's kind of terrible to hold on to. I think it might be this room, but there's like a area in the dark, I believe, where you can get to a secret area. I guess we'll just have to see. As things fade off the screen, sometimes you can sort of see things that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise. That's just the NES rendering graphics.
Yeah.
Well, if there was something, we missed it.
Yep.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Like, this game, it like oozes something indescribable. I can't get enough of it. I really want to play Nightmare in Dreamland now. That might be something to stream, actually.
Yeah.
That would be a really good stream.
It would be.
That'll be in the future, though, since we played this one just today.
Yeah, like, quite a bit in the future.
Yeah.
Oh, we've gotten to Cloud Eyeball Boss.
Hello, Cloud Eyeball Boss.
Like, do you know his name?
What?
Do you know this guy's name?
What is it?
I don't know. That's why I was calling him Cloud Eyeball Boss.
I was fine with that name. Tom's so sour. It's okay, Tom. I was going to try and deal damage to him, but I wasn't able to.
I don't think you're able to until he turns into a cloud.
This
eyeball
art question is just eating at me.
How dare it eat at you, Michael?
I know, but it's just like there's so much...
You shouldn't let things eat at you.
No, it's eating at me in a good way. In that way that stimulates your brain and makes you want to think. Are you familiar with that feeling, Tom?
I don't know. Probably.
I'm always really surprised by people who will assert that they can, like, turn off their brain. Have you ever heard people say this?
No?
Like, well, like, it happened all the time in my science class. They'll be like, oh, I got a game over.
Oh.
Come on, wake up, Kirby. So many different frames of animation for this game. It's great. Anyway. No, they're like... You'll of course, you remember the infamous story from my science class that one year, right?
Oh, yes, I remember.
Where one of the people in my class was sure that the moon...
This was in high school, by the way.
This was in high school. Was convinced that the moon and the sun were the same thing. But, like, the sun was the moon after it cooled down. And so the question they had was, why can't we just travel to the sun at night when it's cold in the moon? And it was just a moment of, like, sheer disappointment with society. And, really...
I found it absolutely hilarious.
Yes. It's the same person who I believe thought that Godzilla was based on true events. I mean, like, what? But, anyway. Moving forward. What was it about that I was going to say? Oh, yeah, the same person said that they can just turn their brain off. Like, and zone out. And, like, they'll be like, yeah, I really hate thinking. I just like to turn my brain off and, like, zone out. And, like, I've heard that said by a lot of people, and I just don't get how they do it. How do they do it? How do they forget how to think? You've been doing it your entire life. That went much smoother than the last boss.
Yeah.
You know, like, isn't that a little bit of a mind-boggler?
I don't know. You can, like, space out sometimes and whatnot, but...
I get spacing out, but, like, when you space out, aren't you thinking about something else?
Kind of, yeah.
That's what I think. I don't ever find a moment where I'm just done thinking. But then again, I am of a rare breed. This is where I talk myself up and sound really, really terrible and no one gets the joke. I find that, I have this thing that I think's funny that no one else does, where I'll, like, give myself extreme praise as a joke, and, like, no one else gets it, so I just sound terrible. And I don't know why I continue to try to pull it off, because it doesn't work.
I think I do that, too.
Do you?
I'm pretty sure I do.
Oh, no.
So I think we're in the same boat.
And everyone just looks at me like, what are you trying to do? Oh, I thought there was...
But I don't do it in, like, public. I only do it to, like, you and stuff.
I do it to my friends, and they just don't understand. So I shouldn't... I think I've been attempting to not do that on the stream, but I might have. And people might be like, what is wrong with this guy?
Oh.
It's just how I am. It's just a joke.
I think I've done it more than you have on, like, the stream and
Yeah.
stuff. Oh, well, we're done with this level, too.
Just owning it
I
up.
don't know.
I really like the Freeze Kirby graphic, the blue.
Yeah. I don't know.
You don't know what?
I don't know how much longer I can feel like doing this. I need my sleeps.
Tom, do it for him. You do it for Iwata.
Oh,
That is to say, you do it for him.
I'm sorry, Iwata. I need my sleep.
I hope that is Steven Universe reference number
3.
3.
Let's just make another one. Remember those guys from Parallel Worlds? Yeah, they looked like Malachite, didn't they?
We do that one all the time.
I know we do, and that's why I had to do it this time.
But this it's not applicable here, because this isn't Parallel Worlds.
I know. I'm breaking the 5th wall.
That's the one they don't want you to know about. They keep that one hidden away. That way no one breaks it. But Tom found out. He got to it. Now he's changing things. Watch out. What is the 5th wall like, Tom?
It's beautiful.
Oh,
So
jeez.
beautiful. There's Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Tom,
I'm just saying,
desperate to
saying
capitalize on the idea he just came up with, says something ridiculous. Fails. The 5th wall will never be mentioned again on Viking Games.
I tried.
I was gonna say something really bad, but oh man, never mind. Can I
That
say it
reminds
anyway?
me, I have to. No, don't
Oh.
say anything bad.
No, it was gonna be about you, so it's okay.
Okay.
It was gonna be I was gonna say that's what it's gonna say on your tombstone. Thomas Hardesty. I tried. Oh man.
No, that was really mean.
That's me. I'm so sorry.
Oh, well, that reminds,
Don't die on me.
That reminds me of earlier the stream and what I want to tell you about events that happened on Monday, or in other words, yesterday.
Monday. Where was Monday?
It was at Pizza Hut, and it's after the stream.
Okay.
It was something weird.
Don't you guys just want to know what it could possibly be? Oh my god. Oh, Tom, you're a riot, Tom.
Well, I guess I could talk about it, but
Like, is it stream appropriate?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Maybe you
It isn't like so bad, but I don't know.
better not be like something offensive. I don't like hearing that stuff, Tom. Tom's gonna make a joke that's probably offensive.
No, but
Oh.
it was in Rock Falls, so
Okay, interesting. Giving people weird ideas about our location. They're gonna hunt us down now.
there are like tons of Rock Falls. So
Is there?
I'm sure there is.
Tom makes up facts. I could do fake video game facts, and you could just do fake facts. I think you wouldn't have a problem doing that though, since like 95% of what you say is a fake fact.
Yeah, maybe.
Crap.
Man, you keep dying.
I know, it's pretty tough. Well, it's not tough. This game's easy, despite how I make it look. But it's really everything that happens is my fault entirely. If you die in this game, it really does come down to your fault. Though there is a difficulty curve, right? Or would it be a curve?
It gets a bit difficult.
One second. I'm trying to remember how that term works, because like the idea of curbing the grades is when you have you use a bell curve to find that out. Oh, never mind. I'm just gonna sound like a moron.
Yep.
I give up. I've had my smart.
That's what's gonna
I feel like
say on your tombstone.
I've had my smart thoughts for today. Time to put those out of my head. Too much think, make bad.
See, I got back at you.
You did. Good job. This part's kind of difficult. Maybe I shouldn't have counted this game out so quickly. What? Jeez.
Maybe you should
Mr.
get
Masahiro
good.
Sakurai?
Or get out.
Yeah, probably. So close.
Well, usually we're playing like the crane game and everything, so we've got like hundreds of lives. So.
Yeah. I don't think we've encountered the crane game yet.
No, we have.
Is this
It's just we haven't played it. That's
Really?
not it.
Egg catcher, what's this? Oh, I never played this one, so I gotta remember how to do this.
Oh.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh, jeez. Kirby incubated the eggs.
Nicely
man.
done.
Spooky. That was fun. Oh, little things like that. Put them in your games, and I will enjoy your game more. I like little bits of. This would be Tornado Ted. Tornado Ted was the name of a comic book character I created when I was in fifth grade.
That.
It wasn't good.
It was ain't good.
Oh, thanks. As if me saying it wasn't enough.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's not very fun, Tom, actually, to discredit your own work, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Alright.
We didn't beat. Oh no.
What?
I thought we beat this level already. I guess we didn't. Whatever.
Tom was wrong.
Oh no, I was wrong.
Man, Tom.
I gotta act like I care that I was wrong now.
Yeah. It's really tough for him to be wrong, to feel wrong, actually. So instead of caring about being wrong, Tom just pretends like he wasn't wrong. That's how he lives his life.
Hey, it's a friend.
Tom lives his life
Do I live
like
my
a
life?
Kamehameha.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like a candle in the wind.
I heard that song today on the radio.
Oh.
This might be the last level we play, and then we'll call it quits.
Well, thank you guys for watching, and
Thanks for watching, and just coming out here to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Satoru Iwata. He is going to be really dearly missed by everyone who's a Nintendo fan.
yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it was the gaming industry as a whole, you know?
I'm just worried about how Nintendo's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, like, the way... Like, Iwata brought such a force to gaming that I don't think will ever be seen again, probably. And that's a little bit disappointing. And I don't know. I don't think I'll be done talking about him for a really long time, honestly.
Yeah.
And I might make a tribute video on YouTube to him still. Oh, thanks. Yeah. So it was fake tweets? Okay. Image says of. Well, yeah, I totally agree.
Look,
Oh,
there's
yep.
a door there, I think.
Yeah, I think that this has been the response and everything. I'm astonished, and I'm really just elated. Frankly, it's incredible. Thanks for coming by. Too. It was great having people around just to take some time to remember the man's games and stuff. And man, I don't know. Things aren't going to be the same without him for sure. But I don't want to pretend like it's all like all he was a the head of Nintendo and games. He was a person too. Obviously, it's just that the way that I know him best is through his incredible work. Thanks everybody for coming in. Thanks Mac Derby for the particularly interesting thoughts today.
Yeah.
This was quite an interesting stream. And yeah, I just echo your sentiments 100%. This is incredibly just cool to see people come together like this. You know, people are leaving like a shrine outside of the NOA headquarters, you know, and all that stuff about like the rainbow over Nintendo and stuff.
Yeah.
And really cool. That now that I know that is a fake tweet story, that's unfortunate that people, like, obviously Polygon's gone under some attack, you know,
What's
fire.
a fake tweet story?
Remember what I was saying earlier about how Miyamoto was used on the Polygon thing? I assume that's what Mac Derby's talking about. Pretty positive. But, you know, like that's all just, it's unfortunate that was used, but there's a few fake tweet stories actually that went around, and I don't want to take all the time to talk about those because I think it really distracts from the real point. But great guy, great games. He'll be missed, and we'll definitely. It'll be a while before we're done talking about what he's done.
Yeah.
So thanks.